Good evening and welcome to this edition of HPU News on September 27th, 2018. I'm Jennifer Brammer.
And I'm Thomas Hart. Tonight on HPU News, Donald Trump promises a second summit with Kim Jong-un.
And an Indonesian teen survives 49 days at sea.
Also, the Duchess of Sussex rejects some royal protocol.
But first, we must head over to meteorologist Dylan Lynn for a full weather update. Dylan?
Thanks, Jennifer and Thomas. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to meteorologist Dylan Lynn. I'm here to give you all things weather. But first, today marks week 2 since Hurricane Florence battered the Carolinas and Virginia with roaring winds, heavy rain, and flash flooding for most parts of the states. Cleanup efforts are still underway in most coastal and flood-prone cities that were affected. Water rescue efforts are still in progress following the devastating storm. Waters are slowly receding. However, more flooded areas remain flooded following the past week's system. The High Point area suffered minimum damage following Florence, bringing only down loose tree limbs, leaves, and minor flooding in small creeks and low-lying areas. Now to bring you your local weather. Right now in the Triad area, we have about 78 degrees here in Greensboro, 77 in Winston-Salem. We got 80 degrees down over here in Charlotte, along with 85 in the Southern Pines, and mountains seem very temperate in those mid-60s. Now to bring you your regional temperatures, we got regional temperatures. There we go. Sorry about that. Regional temperatures, like I said, 78 in the Triad. In Columbia, we got 88. Waycross, Georgia, we have 92. Chicago is up there at 68, along with Washington at 61. And then Cape Hatteras, along with Wilmington, they are in the mid to high 80s following Florence's devastating storm. Here we now have a look at your 7-day forecast. So far for the High Point area and Triad area, we are going to be in the high 70s along with the low 80s, along with that nice cool lows as well. We got 50% chance on Friday, along with 20% on Saturday. And then most of your week, it's going to be pretty good here in the Triad area. So it should be make for a great week along with a great weekend. Back to Jennifer and Thomas.
Thank you, Dylan. Right after the break, we'll hear about Donald Trump's meeting with President Moon.
How am I going to pay for this?
My name is Yankee. My last name is Kendall. So joke's on you. League. Buy all the diamonds from Africa. Yes, they support the illegal diamond trade. It's insane. You should follow them on Instagram.
Welcome back. On Monday, President Donald Trump and his administration said that he expects a second summit with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un in the, quote, not too distant future. The U.S. leader met with South Korean President Moon in New York earlier this week to discuss his meeting with Kim. Moon confirmed North Korea's commitment to denuclearization efforts during their summit. North Korea has gone over 10 months without conducting any major missile launches.
One of the most prominent political showdowns of the Me Too movement is currently taking place. Nearly 3 weeks ago, Brett Kavanaugh secured enough votes to be confirmed to the highest court in the nation. Now Kavanaugh has found himself in a public hearing on allegations of sexual assault from California professor Christine Blasey Ford. Months ago, Ford broke the silence after 36 years and sent a letter to her senator, including her testimony of a high school party at which she claims Kavanaugh sexually assaulted her. Ford made it clear that she did not attend the hearing because she wanted to be there, but because she felt so inclined to be present. This historical hearing continues to be ongoing.
Officials say an Indonesian teen survived adrift at sea for 49 days. The boy was tending a fishing hunt when it was unanchored due to high winds from a storm in mid-July. The teen quickly ran out of food and other supplies and relied strictly on catching his own fish and filtering his own seawater. Nearly a month and a half later, he was rescued by a Panamanian vessel off the coast of Guam, thousands of miles away from home. Shortly after, he was reunited with his family in Indonesia and is said to be in good health.
And now we head over to Courtney Wallen to tell us all about the latest campus happenings. Courtney?
Hello, I'm Courtney Wallen with your campus updates. All eyes were on HPU last weekend during the groundbreaking of the Nito and Mariana Quabain Arena. The arena will seat over 4,000 people. It will house luxe suites, locker rooms, staff offices, concession stands, and much more. The conference center will serve undergrad and graduate students for academic conferences. And a small hotel will join HPU's campus too. The hotel will have 30 to 40 rooms, which will welcome a hospitality management program. Construction is set to be completed by 2020. Did you know that it's National Hispanic Heritage Month? Some students are celebrating with a few special events this week. The Office of Multicultural Affairs is hosting the 2018 Latinx Heritage Week. Tuesday brought a panel discussion with distinguished leaders in the Latino community. Salsa Night educated many about different types of Latin dance. Tonight, there is an open house for Lambda Pi Chi, a Latina Greek organization on campus. Students can learn about its impact on the Latino community and how to get involved. Get ready, you beautiful souls. Jesse McCartney will be rocking the stage this Friday at Roberts Hall Lawn. Wristbands will be available at the Wannick Center from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. If you have a guest, make sure to bring them with you when you're getting your wristband. Doors open at 7. Come back next week for more campus updates. For HPU News, I'm Courtney Wallen.
Sounds like campus is busy. I know my schedule is full. What are you planning on doing, Thomas?
I'm definitely going to be going to the Jesse McCartney concert tomorrow night. I have to go right after Spanish to make sure I get those tickets.
Yeah, of course. I mean, How Do You Sleep was my ringtone when I was 10, so I have to go hear that live. Everything is not what it seems for Disney Channel star and future father David Henry. The actor, known for his role of Justin on the hit show Wizards of Waverly Place, could face up to a year in prison. Henry is being charged with 3 counts of misdemeanor for bringing a loaded gun into the Los Angeles airport. Although he is currently out on $10,000 bail, Henry could face up to a year in prison. A couple hours after his arrest, the star apologized for his actions and thanked the TSA, LAPD, and all other involved over Instagram. His outcome will be determined in court on October 1st.
13 days after the landfall of Hurricane Florence, South Carolinians are preparing for the worst. Nearly 2 weeks after the natural disaster dumped trillions of gallons of water into the Carolinas, authorities have warned over 8,000 homes on the coast. Many experts are saying quote, the worst is yet to come. The stormwater is set to drain into the already swollen rivers to create historic flooding in the coastal region of the state. In counties such as Georgetown and Horry, where at least 10 feet of water is expected. The water is traveling down the hills into the Yadkin-Petey River Basin, which is already far above its average height.
We'll be right back after these messages.
How am I going to pay for this?
Welcome back to HPU News. I'm Thomas Hart.
And I'm Jennifer Brammer. Duchess of Sussex Meghan Markle has taken social media by storm by rejecting royal protocol. When the Duchess arrived at the Royal Academy of Arts, she did something that many of us would not think twice about: closing her car door. However, according to etiquette expert William Hanson, the opening and closing of a royal family member's car door is an assigned job for a staff member. He continued by explaining that it was for security purposes and not airs and graces. This recent breach of car door protocol was not Markle's first. Just last week, the Duchess also closed her car door at the launch of a cookbook. Perhaps Meghan Markle will adapt to the royal protocol, or maybe take a stand and continue opening and closing her car doors. And now for all things entertainment, we will head over to our expert, Jennifer Evans, with the update. Jennifer?
Thanks, guys. Well, it seems like this Cardi versus Nicki beef has exploded in the music world. With Cardi releasing hit after hit and Nicki's alleged jealousy, it is no wonder why the two have been under the radar for quite some time now. Many people claim that Nicki even blackmailed the rapper Future, who has been featured in a song with Cardi, and stated that if he didn't cancel his verse on Cardi's track, that he would be dropped from their Nicki Hendrix tour. Well, it looks like this feud is far from over, and we can expect to see more Nicki-Cardi drama in the near future. But in lighter news, happy belated 50th birthday to Will Smith. How did he celebrate? By bungee jumping out of a helicopter. He wanted to conquer his fear in hopes to inspire his viewers into facing their own fears. He quoted, "Don't hesitate. Go. You can't enjoy the joy that is intended for you in life if you do not go." He performed this 1,000-foot jump on his YouTube live account alongside Alfonso Ribeiro, bringing us 80s, 90s nostalgia. Well, Will, not only did you prove to us that you're the king of Instagram, but you're also now the Fresh Prince of YouTube.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Foster services across the Carolinas and even Virginia sprang into action during Hurricane Florence. When Lucky Dog Animal Rescue heard about one of their partners needing to evacuate from South Carolina, they made the 6-hour drive to help clear the shelter. Lucky Dog loaded more than 50 animals into a van and set off to Washington, D.C. to save these pets. Just an hour into the trip, the van broke down at a nearby gas station, and not being able to return, Lucky Dog reached out to social media for help. 55 people answered the call and showed up to the gas station with their doors open wide for these pets. Many also brought supplies to cool down the animals and the people caring for them. Eventually, the animals were loaded up into a new van and delivered to their new destination.
Many young girls begin planning their wedding day from the moment they watch a Disney princess movie. It is typical for future brides to to have Pinterest boards filled with pins for the big day between her and her groom, and not her mother-in-law. A bride is furious after her mother-in-law attended her wedding wearing a wedding dress. The mother-in-law had asked the bride for advice on what to wear prior to the wedding, and she recommended safe colors such as navy blue, green, and gray, preferably conservative. When her future mother-in-law showed her the embellished gold and white ball gown she would wear to the wedding, the bride was not very pleased, so she took her frustrations to Reddit, asking for advice. After Reddit users confirmed she was not overreacting, the bride chose to confront her future mother-in-law, and let's just say it didn't go very well. It's probably best for all wedding guests, including in-laws, to stick to the no black or white attire rules to avoid unnecessary drama.
Well, that's all we have for you tonight, folks. I'm Thomas Hart.
And I'm Jennifer Brammer. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week. Good night, High Point.